Hi, thanks for joining me, Andrew Overman at Location. And today's helpful video is actually come about as a result of a connection that I made on LinkedIn yesterday. Somebody recommended that a friend of theirs reach out to me and ask for advice because they'd been out viewing property last weekend, and they saw a property that they wanted to purchase. And unfortunately, they didn't get it. When they phoned the agent for feedback, they were told that there was somebody else that was in a better position. And what this individual couldn't understand is that they were both first-time buyers, and why there was another first-time buyer that was in a better position than he was. And his question was, surely all first-time buyers are the same? How can one first-time buyer be in a better position than me if I'm a first-time buyer as well? So I thought I'd jump on, do a quick live, and try and help answer the question in the same way that I did with the gentleman yesterday via LinkedIn when we had our telephone call. So yes, in terms of actual physical position, both first-time buyers, i.e. they're both unencumbered purchasers and have nothing to sell. That's great. However, the difference was that the gentleman that I spoke to yesterday hadn't really prepared for the viewing. And by preparation, I just want to go through a few things with you now, so that if you're a first-time buyer and you're looking to make an impression on the agent and purchase your first home, we can do the whatever we can to put you in the best possible position to be able to do that. So by a better position, the agent was actually referring to the fact that this first-time buyer that they chose to purchase the property, or their clients went with, had actually put all of their ducks in a row. So let's try and put those ducks in a row for the audience now, and I'll try and wrap this up so that if you're looking to make your first purchase, you're best informed and in a position to actually go ahead and make that purchase. So as a first-time buyer, if you're going to have an offer accepted on a property, the first thing that your agent is going to need to see are your qualified funds, ID documents, proof of your deposit, and that your solicitors are instructed. So let's just go through each of those in turn. ID documents. Agents will want to see a physical copy of your ID or a certified copy. Now, if you want to get ahead of the game, what you could do is speak to, obviously, a local solicitor and get your passport and driving license signed and certified. There's normally a small charge, £5, £10, £15 for it, or you can take the original copies of the ID to the appointment so that the agent, I mean, most of us carry iPhones and such like these days, don't we? So we could scan those ID documents on the appointment if you're happy to do so. We're required to validate your identity under the 5th Money Laundering Directive. So as I said, either provide those as original documents. It's handy if you could take them on the viewing, passport and driving license. So you've got your driving license with your current address on it, and another form of physical photographic identification in your passport. Now, the next thing that an agent will want to see is a mortgage agreement in principle, or an AIP, or sometimes called DIP, agreement in principle or decision in principle. So to obtain an AIP or a DIP, you will need to speak to a financial advisor. They will need to qualify your borrowing. At the very least, you'll need your last 3 months' wage slips. You'll need a P60, details of any loans, credit cards, and financial commitments. And then your advisor will then indicate how much you're able to borrow. Obviously, they'll need to know what deposit you have to put into the property. And from there, you will receive a decision in principle or an agreement in principle. And again, it's an idea that if you take a copy or a scan or a PDF of that on your appointment, you can always then airdrop it over to your agent. And again, that's just another hurdle that's ticked off. Now, when you're getting financial advice, there are some pitfalls. So just be aware of those pitfalls. Banks and building societies will only advise on their own mortgage products. Some estate agents will be independent mortgage advisors, but they'll have a preferred panel, and they may or may not pay their financial advisors a more generous commission by shopping on panel versus off panel. So there may be a reason that you're offered a certain product or steered in a certain direction. For me, the best way would be to go truly independent. Do be cautious of some financial advisors that will do advice for life fees. Those advice for life fees are so that you can get mortgage advice whenever you want for life. Some agents will, when you return, still charge you an admin fee. So it's kind of advice for life, but not advice for life, because you're going to get charged again in the future. So just be aware of that and make that a consideration. Again, if you're looking for any advice, I can put you in touch with a decent broker. Proof of deposit is obviously required. Now, if you're a first-time buyer, that could be in the form of Help to Buy ISA, savings. If it's a gift, and plenty of parents are gifting deposits to their children these days, and grandparents gifting deposits to grandchildren. If it's a gift, we just need to have proof of where the funds are coming from, and a letter from the person that is gifting the deposit to say that it is a gift and it's not expected back, and it's not any form of temporary loan. Okay, so the final thing is a solicitor. Now, this is one thing that a lot of first-time buyers, in fact, most movers, leave till right at the very end. And I would implore you to actually consider that you're about to make your biggest financial commitment, and the solicitor, the conveyancer that's involved in that process, is going to be the person that handles that for you. So it's really vital, in my mind, that you choose wisely. So ask family and friends. Ask for recommendations of positive experiences that your family and friends have had previously when they've been dealing with property matters. And do remember that some solicitors will, have dealt with wills and probate and other areas, family and criminal. You're looking for a recommendation specifically for property. Now, do be careful here, because some agents will recommend solicitors, and they will have a referral scheme with those solicitors, which means that if they refer your business to that solicitor, they'll get a kickback in terms of some kind of finance recompense for passing the lead over to them. Now, at Location, I have to say, we do not take referral fees from solicitors, because we want to maintain our core values and our policies on ethics, and we want to be recommending you the very best solicitors to get the deal over the line, and those that are, perhaps. We don't want to be influenced at Location by somebody that's giving us 100, 200, 250 quid either side of a transaction. So just be very, very careful that sometimes if an estate agent makes a recommendation to use a solicitor, they're doing so because there is a financial benefit to them. It's always worth asking the question of those agents, do you receive any kind of financial recompense for this referral, or are you recommending on the basis that you actually, you fully believe that these are the best people to get things through for me? As I said, at Location, we don't accept referral fees from solicitors. We recommend only to those solicitors that have the capacity and the aptitude to be able to deal with the clients, our clients and their transactions. I would actually then go as far as to ask the solicitor, once you've chosen them, to send out their terms of engagement and place them in funds for search fees. Search fees are normally in the region of £200 to £300. But I would actually put the solicitor in funds. If they're not applying for the searches and things don't go ahead, they can always refund that to you. But if a solicitor has got your terms of engagement signed, pending the property address that you're purchasing, and they're in funds for searches, the minute they receive a draft contract, they are able to act. And act speedily. So that would be my advice. So not all first-time buyers are in the same position. There are certain things that you can do to put yourself in a better position as a first-time buyer if you just follow those 4 principles that I've described. So the first is get your solicitor nice and early. If anybody's looking for a recommendation of local solicitors that offer an excellent service, I do not receive a referral fee. And if we did, we'd have to disclose it to you. Please do get in touch and I'll happily pass on those details. And as I said, identification docs, often overlooked. If you can either get them certified by your local solicitor or take the originals on the appointment. Most of us have got iPhones and we are able to scan those on the appointment if you're interested. An agreement in principle or decision in principle for your mortgage. That's vitally important. Make sure you get the right advice for your mortgage. Again, if you'd like that, give me a call. And just beware of the pitfalls. And the final is the proof of deposit. We need to know where the deposit funds are coming from. And if it's gifted, it is absolutely fine, but we just need then a supplementary letter from the person that's gifting them, signed, addressed, dated from that person to say that they are gifting the said person with the deposit funds. So I hope that helps. I hope that's helped explain why some first-time buyers are in a better position than others. And if you need any help, as always, reach out to me. It's 01842 818688. Thanks for your time. Take care. Have a great day.